this video, we're going to pick up where we left off. I thought I'd show you a render of what the train looks like with all of the steps that we've done so far. It's really getting there. It's starting to look detailed. It's starting to look good. You can see the little stuff we just worked on over here. Um, there are a few things later on we're going to adjust. I think when we're done with the entire video, there's some parts that I'm going to just tell you, you can scale this little bar here. Certain parts that you can just do by eye, change by eye, and make them to your liking, look at reference and stuff. So keep that in mind, but I think we're at a great spot with this model. So let's get started. I'm going to close this render. We're going to come in here and let me hide that light so we don't have it in the viewport. There we go. Okay, so now what I want to do is select this front door of the boiler. I'm going to roll in a little bit. Okay, and select. There we go. And I think let's unhide all. Unhide all. No. Let's grab that blueprint. And now we can Alt and Q to isolate. And let's go to the Shift and B. That's the front of the train, but it's the back viewport. And what I want to do now is just make an arc. We're going to go to Create, Shapes, and we're going to go to Arc. And I'm going to come from roughly here, F3 so you can see, to across here to the other side. And then when I release the left button, we have an arc that we can adjust the radius and whatnot of. So that looks good, kind of conforms to the shape of what we have existing already. So I click to stop, exit out of the arc. And now I'm going to make an editable spline by right-clicking, Editable Spline. I'm going to go to Perspective and move it. It's got to be ahead of the door. So I'm going to use W and X if the gizmo isn't showing. You can hit the X key. It always brings it back. There we go. And just kick it back to right around here. And let's make that, let's raise the interpolation. Let's go to 14. And rendering, enable in render and in viewport. And that almost is the radius we want. That's about an inch. I want a little bigger so it reads well. There we go. F4 so we can see what it looks like. It looks good. So now I'm going to control and click on the front door, Alt and Q to isolate. And I'm going to convert this right now, or put an edit poly above, even better. Just like that. And now what I want to do is select some polygons. Let's get this end, that first section, including the cap on both ends. There we go. And we're going to use extrude just to make like a little cap at the end or a little thick fitting or something like that. We'll go to extrude. We want to go local normal, and we just want to tick it a couple times manually. Let me see how that looks. I think a little bit more than that. So I'm just clicking at random until it gets to where it looks good to me, and I like that. So I'm going to say OK. Very good. And now click off, F4. And it looks good, but there's still a couple more things to do. So let's zoom in. I'm going to select this polygon. I'm going to really zoom again with Z. And we have this issue with converting splines where we have to delete that end because it becomes 3 polygons and it shouldn't. We're going to go to border, select that border, and we'll cap that polygon just like that. Now let's come up to selection, control click on edge, and let's do a chamfer. There it is. And let's right click that value out and slowly manually, there we go. I'm going to make it, that looks good to me. So I'm going to say OK, F4. We can put a smooth modifier above as we've done before when we do this kind of operation. Okay, and we're going to just do the same over here on this end with the top cap polygon. We'll select it, convert it to an edge, control click on edge, go to chamfer. The value should still be set. Check mark for OK. There we go. Let's name this front steam line. Show 1. OK. And let's exit isolation. Save your file if you haven't. F3. I'm going to hide the blueprint. OK. And now what I'm going to do is grab one of these mounting clamps that we made for the steam tubes. I'm going to pull it forward, shift and clone it. I'm going to clone it to a copy. Let's go to Shift and B, zoom in, and I want to go to rotate, and I want to just level it off a little bit. Looks a little bit off. There we go. And now we're going to just align it to that tube that we just created on the front of the train. And we're going to just make it so that it's a clamp holding it in place. Go to top viewport so we get a better look at this. There we go. Should come in a bit and come back a tiny bit like that. Let me go to perspective again. Okay, and pull it out a little bit. There we go. Come down. And now I'm just going to E for rotate. I'm going to rotate it this way. I'm going to rotate it 90 that way. There we go. Align a little bit. And you're going to manually just tweak this out so that it grips onto that line. You know, it feels like it belongs where it is. There we go. Okay, F4. That doesn't look bad. I just want to pull the base of that part forward so that it looks like it's on the surface. So I'm going to do a vertex selection. Move tool, just bring it forward a little bit, just like that. And I'm going to do another one on the other side and maybe 2 more in the middle. So let's just shift and drag this one across as a copy. Okay, zoom in. I'm going to mirror that just like that. Give a little push. Okay. Let's do shift drag down. Okay. Put it in here somewhere around there. Zoom in, do a little rotation. This is all stuff you know how to do. There we go. And then I'm just going to clone it to the other side as well. Shift and drag it over. As a copy, mirror should be set to the right direction, which it is. And just pull it in a little till it matches, just like that. Okay, so now with that, I think that this front section is done, the front of the boiler. It's safe to say it's done. As I said, at the end of the whole exercise, I may tweak out some stuff. I think this stuff right here, this little front rail looks a little too small in scale, so we'll get back to that. I'm going to pause the video, and in the next video, we're going to make some straps and supports that go along the boiler. I'll show you in the reference when I begin the next video. So I'm going to pause here.